and now it got another 10, 15% on top of that, and now it's up just now it went to 9%, and now it's somewhere in the 5, 6%. That's compounded on top of what's happened the years before, along with our dollar losing value. Can you see why it's costing you $5, $6, $7 to get a gallon to get your gas tank filled up? Can you see why you can't afford to buy all the things you did 4 years ago with the same amount of money? Can you see why your house payment has gone through the roof because of stupidity in the Democrat Party on Joe Biden and Kamala Harris? Can you see any of these things? Do you care? Or is it the only thing you care about is we have to stop Donald Trump, because if he gets in there, he's gonna be a big meanie pants and say mean things and make us feel bad. Yep, that's what's important. Libertarians, we believe that our currency should be the world reserve currency. That keeps us strong, keeps us influential in the world. But at the same time, we don't believe in the Federal Reserve System at all. Federal Reserve System is nothing more than 12 bankers got together and decided they were going to decide what the interest rates are going to be for the entire country. Who the hell do you think you people are, and who allowed this to happen? Oh, never mind. Woodrow Wilson time period. Yep, another Marxist Democrat from the 1913, 15, 16, 17, 18 time period. So anyways, we're moving down. We're going to go down to number 14. We'll read it real quick here. Fight for and protect Social Security and Medicare. Oh, and Medicare, sorry. My eyes got a little blurry. I have really horrible eyes. And with no cuts, including no changes to the retirement age. I think that's probably both parties would agree to that. I really can't say too much that the Democrats would oppose that. I think that's what they agree with also, even though they are always saying that, Republicans want to change and get rid of Medicare, and they want to get rid of this, they want to get rid of that. Let's make it really very, very, very simple on who's doing what. We'll go back to Obamacare. If you're so worried about your Medicare and you voted Democrat, please quit lying. Quit being just a party hack, being stupid. Stupid being the main word on that part. Remember this. In order for Obamacare to work, they had to take Obama and the Democrats had to take 700 and something or $800 billion, $800 billion out of Medicare to pay for all these other people to have insurance. Republicans opposed that. Democrats loved it. It gave another way of controlling people's health care. Us libertarians basically say Social Security is an illegal system that should not be even in our government purview, along with Medicare. Has nothing to do with the federal government. So whatever you guys are doing with it is wrong anyway, because you're violating the Constitution. But the system's here, and we have to make sure it's strong for the people who have paid into it their entire lives. I'm on Social Security now. I paid in a lot of money over the years, and I deserve to have that back. And I also deserve to have the Medicare that I was supposed to have, and not watch my payments and stuff have to go up because Democrats took money out of it to give to people who shouldn't have ever had a dime out of it. See, they love saying that people are going to do things bad. Democrats love pointing the finger and say they're going to destroy it and they're going to take money out, they're going to do this, while they're doing it themselves to pay for other programs. So anyways, hope you hold to this strong, you're Republicans. Not sure you will. Don't know if you know how to. You guys are feckless on so many things. Feckless, F-E-C-K-L-E-S-S, feckless, meaning you have no strength, you're useless. Yeah. Okay. Oh, here's one I love. Number 15, cancel the electric vehicle mandates and cut costly and burdensome regulations. Well, we can do that very simply. We just tell we don't care about electric car companies and all you people that got money out of all these things. They're supposed to build charging stations all over. You know, the Democrats approved $7 billion to build 500,000 or 50,000 charging stations all over this country. There's only been 7 built in the last 2 years. Those are expensive charging stations. Get rid of these electric belief systems, electric vehicle systems. Let's get back to doing what we know how to do. Use coal, oil, natural gas, nuclear. If people still want to in their states have some of the stupid wind turbines and the solar stuff, go for it. I don't really care if you do it on a state by state basis. The people in those states should decide. But to have someone who's basically as dumb as Joe Biden and even dumber as Kamala Harris being the lead people on this stuff is destructive, and it destroys our nation. It harms people. Well, but the Democrats don't care about that part. Libertarians just say this burdensome regulation. Well, these organizations, everything from the Department of Energy, Labor, EPA, are unconstitutional anyway, and they shouldn't be there imposing any kind of regulations because they're illegitimate organizations, regardless if they were put in there by Congress. The Constitution specifies what organizations and what can be done by the federal government, and those things are not in there. And if they are that important to our nation, and you say, yeah, but we need someone to help out on the environment and protect it, okay. Well, since it's so important and everyone's going to agree with it, let's do it by constitutional amendment. But you won't do that. That's one thing you guys will never want to go with because you know it won't pass. Not because it's not a good idea, but because you know that it's just another government agency. People are going to go, no, we're not funding that. Let me see, fund an agency that comes back to me later and says, oh, by the way, that pond that's been on your property for the last, your family's, that pond back there, you can't use it and you can't do anything with it because it's a navigable waterway, and we have to watch out for any livestock, wildlife that may want to get a drink out of it. Now, this is the Environmental Protection Agency, and Democrats love government that inflicts pain on people. They love it. All right. What was that? Right. Oh, that was 15. 16. Cut federal funding for any school pushing critical race theory, radical gender ideology, and other inappropriate, what does it say, racial, sexual, or political content on our children. In other words, I have a better idea right now. I know, Craig, you're so smart. You're smarter than any of those guys back here in Washington, D.C. Here's how we deal with this, with any schools getting money from the federal government. We get rid of the Department of Education right now. Oh, but how will people pay for school? Well, I'll tell you how they do it. Their states will figure out if it's important to the people that live there. We'll have 50 different experiments going on in this country, and I'll guarantee you, when they have to pay for it themselves, they'll probably figure out some, novel ideas on how to make education good. Because here's one simple fact that people don't realize. 1979, Jimmy Carter decided to create the Department of Education. It was a payoff to the teachers union for helping him get elected. So he created a bureaucracy, just like they love bureaucracies. Democrats love bureaucracies. So they created a bureaucracy to help the teachers' unions, the American Federation of Teachers, National Education Association, all those places. They got together and they created that. In 1979, the American education system was the #1 education system in the world. 1979, it's created the Department of Education. We're now 25, 26, something like that in the world as far as education. Good job. Another federal government interference system that has destroyed our education. Another program that's destroyed what it was supposed to be there to fix. Reading, writing, arithmetic, history, civics, sorry, not civil, civics, and patriotism to the United States. That's what should be taught in our schools. No more drag queens, no more sex education by them, no more stupidity going on in the schools. Just end it. But that states should be controlling that. When the libertarian side of me says, yep, get rid of it, doesn't belong in there, another organization, another government cabinet position that doesn't belong in there because it's not in the Constitution, sorry. If it's really critical, let's get a constitutional amendment started up on it. Then we'll have to fund it. Anyways, I agree with that 100%. Democrats hate the idea because they just know it's just another branch that helps control people's lives. Well, how will people get Pell Grants? How will people get, student loans? Well, go to the bank. Go to the bank. Why is the American taxpayer, you feel that the American taxpayer has to be on the hook to pay your education bill? American taxpayer, especially in your cities and states, already paid for you to go 12 years. Now, you want to go get a career, go get a career. Go to trade school. How about not going to trade school? It's amazing on how they push going to college and how few people actually need to get a college education to go into a career that they go into. And then the people who actually go into college, like 40% of them drop out. And yet they still have a bill there they have to pay. Democrats don't care. Their solution to that, well, if you didn't go to, if you couldn't pay it because of all these things, then the government should pay it. No. I didn't sign anybody's loan papers. You should pay it. Another overreach and over attempt on the federal government to take over people's lives. Student loans. Anyhow, that's the libertarian side, and this should be the Republican side on that too. I hope that they stick to it and they just say, nope. Let's see. Number 17, keep men out of women's sports. Do we have to be even talking about this? Is a total that we're talking about this in 2024 when we're have more science, more knowledge than any other time in our history of this world. And yet we somehow believe that some man who says, I feel like I'm a woman and I should be able to participate in women's sports. And we go, oh, okay, go ahead. We support you. No, absolutely not. Hey, here's an idea. How about you just go start your own league of sports called the Confused Sexual Gender Sports Olympics, whatever. I don't care. How is it fair, and why do Democrats think it's perfectly fine that girls can work as hard as they do for as many years as they do to get scholarships to go to schools, and yet some boy, a man, can say, I feel like a woman, so I want to go be on that team. And he's going to be able to beat most of those girls, or if not all of them, to get on that team. We just told women, you can't compete in men's sports because that's an obvious thing. You don't have the strength, speed, endurance, power, whatever, to compete in men's sports. So when you need to be in your own sports that you can take and succeed and thrive in. Oh, yeah, and now, by the way, because we believe in this, we're the Democrat Party, we believe totally that now these men who think they're women, because they are super confused, super confused, are now going to go in and compete against you too. You can't compete in the boys' sports because you can't, but now that you're competing against other women, now you're going to compete against other men. It's really simple. If you want to compete in any kind of sports, you have a genetic test, and it's really simple. We look at it and we go, are you XX or XY? If you're XY, you're a boy, and you can't go and play with the girls. And if you're XX, you're a girl. You got to play with the girls. And you're XY, you got to go play with just the boys. End of story. We don't care about your feelings. We don't care about your mental problems. We don't care about any of this stuff. We got to protect our girls. We got to protect our daughters. We got to protect our wives. We got to protect our grandkids from these people who are just wacko. I'm sorry. It doesn't make our society better letting people and supporting people who want to live in a world of pretending and make believe. That was 1718. Deport pro Hamas radicals and make our college campuses safe and patriotic again. Once again, very simple. We have a lot of people come here from other countries to take part in our education system. Why? I don't know, because all they're doing is just getting indoctrinated by a bunch of socialists and Democrats. Okay, but you're here. And you're here, and you're granted permission to come to this country, and you decide you're going to go start a protest and a riot, whatever you want to, on a college campus, and you think you have the right to because you're here in America. You don't have that right. You are being granted the privilege of going to a school here. What you have to say about your political ideology, if you're not a citizen or legally here as a resident alien, as we used to call it, we don't care. And if you're going to be a pro-terrorist supporter, or if you're going to be a pro-communist supporter, or if you're going to be any of those things, ship you out, get you gone, bye-bye, don't ever come back here, you're blacklisted, get out. With all these illegals, too, that we're going to kick out of here. Libertarian side of me says very simple on this, too. Yeah, you're either here for this country and you love this country. You can detest the government. Boy, do I. I detest this government, especially the senile old man and the idiot bimbo VP he has with him. You can love your country and you can detest your government, and I think that's patriotic even. Secure our elections. Oh, here's the one the Democrats are going to oppose so much again. The Democrats securing our elections, yeah. Including same-day voter registrations and all that stuff. Okay, it's very simple. We need to have it required that in any federal election, we can make it a federal law, even though states have control over the voting systems in their counties, cities, states, etc. It's very simple. If you're going to vote in a federal election where there's federal candidates on there, senator, congressman, president, you have to have a voter ID. You have to have your stuff. There's no next day counting of the votes. The vote, if it's November 5th, is going to be the election, and at 11:59 on election day, the vote is done. No more counting. No more doing anything like that. Ballot boxes, mail-in ballots, stuff like that, have to have notaries. Notaries have to be used on anything like that, showing that you're actually the person on that ballot. No more stuffing the ballot boxes like we saw in 2020. No more allowing illegal aliens like the Democrats want to. See, these are all things we have to stop the Democrats from doing. This stuff, I'm sure some Republicans probably do some of this too, but I'll tell you right now, 99% of it happens from the Democrats. How do you think Joe Biden got in there? You really believe he got 80 million votes? The dumbest person that's ever been in the Congress? The dumbest and most corrupt vice president? I was able to talk 80 million people into voting for me. Yeah. Well, I don't know how he did that, because he never talked to anybody. He hid in the basement, just like Kamala's doing now. Because they know how stupid she is. She starts talking, and it'll be like, well, she just blew it too. Anyhow, libertarian side of me says absolutely. Libertarians would say our voting system needs to be 100% secure. Every vote has to be valid. Everybody has to be legitimate. But Democrats don't believe in any of this thing. Are we seeing the difference between the parties as we go down this thing? A couple things, there's not so much difference, but on a lot of them, there's a lot of difference. Huge. All right, last one, number 20. unite our country by bringing it to new heights of success. You know, misery is the one thing the Democrat Party has to offer everybody. A what do you want to call this? A misery felt by everybody is what the Democrat Party has to offer. People who prosper, people who are happy, their businesses are making more than they've ever made before, people who are making great decisions, their lives are full and lives are whole, they're doing great, is the worst thing that could ever happen to the Democrat Party. If it's good for the country, it's bad for the Democrat Party. If it's bad for the country, it's good for the Democrat Party. Do you get this? Did you listen to that? I'll repeat it one more time. If it's bad for the country, it's good for the Democrat Party. If it's good for the country, it's bad for the Democrat Party. They have no desire for you to be healthy, happy, and all this stuff. You're there to vote for them. Prior to COVID, this country never saw such heights of success for everybody, no matter what race you were, no matter what gender you were, even including the ones that are confused. Success is awesome. Having a life that you love living because you're successful is awesome. You will not vote for a Democrat if you're living that kind of a life. Because you don't need them for anything. And you really don't need them for anything anyway. So that's the 20 things on the Republican agenda. How many of them are going to go in and actually become part of it and we're going to be successful on? I would hope a few of them, at least half a dozen of them. I'd be happy with 10. If they got 10 things in this thing to happen and the other 10 they're working on, I would be happy. But they have a habit of going in there and getting control and becoming just like Democrats. So that's the difference of the parties right now. I'm glad that this was here for me to look at, because that helped a tremendous amount for people to listen to and find out what the difference is between the parties. Remember, the Libertarian Party is like myself, the constitutional conservative libertarian, wants to live our life successful, happy, and with the government out of our lives. The Democrats want government in every aspect of your life. Republicans, I think they're confused. I don't think they really know what they want. But at least they put this out. This is awesome. So anyways, this is the Craig L. Hayes Show. I am Craig L. Hayes. Until we meet again, think and pass it on.